Welcome back everybody to the Johnny Guitar channel. Today we are playing Elder Scrolls Online, Return the Bard. And I messed up. I messed up again, and I was not able to... I messed up on the recording. I didn't record this episode. I thought I did. I guess my equipment wasn't working. So anyways, I'm now recording this vocal post. But it's actually been a very interesting episode because we are playing Elder Scrolls Online. And we are in the Second Era, and we find that Skyrim is in civil war, Western and Eastern Skyrim, and our boy Return here is trying to, he's kind of working for both sides of the war, trying to figure out what the Icereach Coven is doing. See, the Icereach Coven is a coven of witches. They've teamed up with vampires, and they're creating these things called Harrow Storms. And recently, the wife or the Queen of Solitude was assassinated, and Return and Lyris have been tracking down the assassin, who is a vampire apparently. So today Return is going to be heading south, trying to meet up with Lyris Titanborn and get into a mine and track down the assassin. I recorded this entire episode. I played it, I recorded it, everything was working fine. And now it's not. I wonder if it has to do with the fact that I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online, and maybe I should make sure my mic is on. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. Anyways, everybody, quite sorry about that. I had a lot of really funny comments. It was going to be a good episode. It's still going to be a good episode. A lot of plot, a lot of conversation with Lyris and other people, and we go to a very special location. One of my favorite locations in all of Skyrim. So stay tuned, everybody. I'm going to be popping in here and there, but for the most part, this is going to be a non-commentary episode.
much stock in rumors and old wives' tales.
I don't think we are the first to camp here. Lots of fresh tracks.
Allow yourself some rest. The divines are watching over us.
I'd welcome some trouble right about now. I'm bored to tears.
A little gloom is nothing to fear, but I'll pray for a bit of sunshine all the same.
Have you been through here before? Might explain the tracks I found.
What are simple folk supposed to do against such evil? I wouldn't go towards Karthwatch, traveler. Not now, maybe never again. Nothing left there except horrors. It's overrun with mindless beasts. An enormous storm appeared over town as I came up the road. When I got there, it was chaos. Monsters attacking any who still lived. I barely escaped with my life. I saw Fenrir, one of the town guards, setting up camp in the ruins just outside town. He's a good man. If anyone's mounting a rescue effort, it would be him. Perhaps you can lend a hand.
As evil lairs go, I'm not impressed.
I'll take that as a good sign.
We think this old mine is where our assassin fled to. Good a place as any to bury him. The clever woman helped you track the Queen's assassin to his hideout in Chillwind Depths. He got away, but left behind evidence that the Coven's planning another Harrow Storm in this mine, and we're going to wreck those plans. I miss anything?
Okay, you might hear some awkward silences during this episode, and it's because I'm talking. And it's going to be awkward silences. Just fill them in with your own headcanon. Anyways, the assassin escaped. They're probably expecting us. Come on, Lyris, let's do this.
Good. Less chance of them scurrying away if they think they have the advantage. I'm tired of chasing these rats through the shadows. Are you ready to end this? These tunnels better be dug on the large size. Scaffolding. Let's follow it down.
Careful. The structure doesn't appear to be completely stable.
Relax. It'll take more than a rickety structure to take down Lyris Titanborn.
Actually, I was more concerned for my own well-being. But if you insist...
I think there's a cavern up ahead. Blackreach again. Like beneath Eastmarch. Does it extend below all of Skyrim?
Blackreach. So the legends are true. But why is there a town down here?
Eastmarch. Does it extend below all of Skyrim?
Blackreach. So the legends are true. But why is there a town down here?
More traps? Did those two idiots set these things throughout all of Blackreach? Watch your step, stranger. A couple of so-called ghost hunters laid traps all over the place. They insist that it's to catch spirits, haunting the mines. They don't leave soon. The only thing they'll be catching is my boot to their backside. Blackreach isn't for the faint of heart. When we first came down here, we lost people to animal attacks. That's gotten better, but now everyone's spooked about a few missing miners. Most don't realize it's not uncommon for workers to wander off. No. My wife Elle hired them. She said they'd ease people's minds, but the hawkers are only making things worse. You look capable. If you could expose them for the charlatans they are, Elle would kick them out. What do you say? It's a paying job. The spirit-chasing fools are down in the settlement, likely setting more traps for people to trip over. The damn things covered one of my workers in paint and nearly took off his leg earlier. Shore's bones. I wish my wife hadn't hired these idiots. We call it Dusktown. It's the Bitterblade Mining Consortium settlement. We're not a big organization. There's only about a dozen of us. Most of the work that goes on here is under the table. We're a small operation, but sturdy. Well, there's no shortage of rare materials, that's for sure. But most of what we find is an abundance of creatures that want to sink their teeth into us. It's dangerous work, but everyone who signed on knew the risks going in. Yes, but you'll do well to remember that the mines are strictly off-limits to anyone who isn't under my employ. If you're looking for work, come find me once you run off these ghost-hunting buffoons. Until then, I recommend you keep your distance. Blackreach is a hard place. You spend any amount of time down there and you'll learn that quick. Unfortunately, some people forget that and get in their heads to go exploring. That's usually the last we see of them. Wandered off and got eaten, more like. Either that or the darkness got to them. The isolation, the lack of sun. We've learned how to stay safe down here, but you can't protect people from everything. Especially not their own minds. Watch your back.
You've done it, Claudina. Truly excellent work.
Phoebe, we have a visitor.
Hello! You're rather strapping, aren't you? If you're here about the traps, there's no need to worry. Claudina fixed them right up. She's really quite good at this. I can almost guarantee that they won't trip anyone else today. Spirits, of course. Ideally, the ones that have been terrorizing these poor people. My mentor and I have been given the important responsibility of investigating the mysterious disappearances down here. We're supernatural specialists of a sort. We're perilously close. Claudina has been doing this for years. She's practically an expert. I'm just her apprentice, but so far there hasn't been a case that we couldn't solve. Dusktown is in capable hands. Leave? But we're so close to figuring this out. If we just had a little more time, and maybe a set of extra hands? You look very clever. I'm sure if you joined us, we'd solve this in no time. Interested? Claudina would reward you, I'm sure. We identified a few spots with reported spiritual activity. Here, take Claudina's notes. The hope is that placing traps here will increase our chances of capturing an entity and figuring out what happened to the missing miners. Exciting, right? I'm not sure. I used to try and guess the conclusions of our cases, but I was almost always wrong. Claudina says not to speculate too early. Each case is different and requires a different approach. I hope the missing people are safe at any rate. Me? Oh, I'm practically no one. I'm just a mage that never really fit in anywhere. That is, until I heard of Claudina's exploits. I've always been obsessed with her work, so I tracked her down and begged her to take me on as her assistant. I don't possibly have the time to tell you of her many amazing exploits. Claudina is a renowned figure when it comes to the study of the supernatural. She's had a lustrous career and published much of her work. You should read some. She's my hero. It wasn't easy. Claudina built her business herself. After her husband died, she used his fortune to pursue her studies, and has been on her own ever since. But I think she saw the benefit in a pair of young hands, and an eager mind. Oh, what a wonderful question. I won't bore you with the details, though they are fascinating. Essentially, these traps will magically weaken the spirit. Once it passes through the physical barrier, the warding spells render it unable to move. Absolutely! My very first case with Claudina, we captured a very powerful ghost with such a trap. I'll never forget. It burst forth from the wardrobe and I nearly died of fright. Thankfully, Claudina pushed me out of the way, just in time.
Phoebe convinced you to help us, did she? You have my thanks. But I hope you're prepared to work. This is a very serious responsibility. We owe it to these people to ease their fears. This is my life's work. I do not take it lightly. My name is Claudina Ildine. I deal in the supernatural and strange. Sometimes that means reuniting families with their lost loved ones that were taken too soon. Other times it means hunting dark, malicious spirits in ancient ruins. Phoebe and I go where there is need. Our work often takes us to strange places, though I will admit this place tops the list. There are restless spirits everywhere. They exist on the peaks of mountains, just as they do in the underbelly of the earth. It's too soon to tell. I have endless theories, but I need more evidence. I would be happy to indulge your curiosities after our business here is concluded. But, as it stands, I cannot afford to become distracted by mere possibilities.
What an exciting case! I simply must write down this new development.
Focus on the task at hand, Phoebe. There will be time for that later.
So as you can see, I've wandered into a side quest here, helping these ghost hunters, and this is actually a pretty interesting quest. I mean, it's okay interesting. It's a little unique though, and it's a little confusing. Some of the logic here in some of these quest lines is weird. Anyways, pay attention. It's kind of a strange quest, but I will admit I really like Blackreach. I like Elder Scrolls Online's version of Blackreach. It is just beautiful, and I like the idea that Blackreach is like a new frontier to the Nords, and that the Nord people have set up a mining town down here. The Dusk, isn't that the name of the town? Duskwater? And that there's kind of this little miniature mining company down here in the mines. I think it's really cool, and I also think it's very suspicious that the Overseer does not want me to go anywhere near the mines. Going inside the mines are forbidden. Obviously something suspicious is going on, so we're going to put the main quest with Lyris Titanborn on the side, and we're going to continue doing this like ghost hunter quest because it's interesting.
You're back! Did you have any trouble setting up the traps? Great work! You're a natural. Have you ever considered making this your life's work? It's really quite rewarding, and you certainly have the aptitude for it. Anyway, I'm sure Elle will be relieved to hear that they're all set up now. Elle Bitterblade, the head of Dusktown. She hired us, though she's been understandably doubtful since her husband, Overseer Earlvar, kicked us out of the mines earlier. Maybe you could help smooth things over by telling her the traps are set up? Oh, thank you so much. Claudina and I are good with the spirit side of things, but we struggle with people. If you talk to Elle and assure her that we're doing everything we can, she'd probably feel better. She should be right outside the mines. Well, remember what I said earlier about the traps? We had an incident with the mine foreman, but he wasn't in any danger. We freed his leg easily and got all the paint off. We fixed the traps, but nonetheless, the mines are off limits to us now. Claudina, say more about your process. I want to capture everything in my notes.
Brumog, please. There's no need for alarm.
But Captain Agaron is missing now. Who will protect us?
We don't need protection. We're perfectly safe.
You're wrong. There's something evil haunting this place, and we're its next victims.
I'm beginning to think hiring those ghost hunters was a mistake. I thought it would make everyone feel a little safer to know we were looking into it, but it's just made everything worse. Are you another one of that woman's assistants? Look, when I hired those two, they assured me that they had things well in hand. But we've got another person missing, and my people are scrambling over themselves in their fear. My town guard, Captain Agron. He was last seen at the administrative offices, but then he didn't show up for his posting. He just up and vanished, same as the others. Possibly, but I wouldn't have taken Captain Agaron for a deserter. If you're helping those ghost hunters, would you take a look in the offices? My people are scared. I'd like to have a working theory to give them, at least. Here, take my keys. They'll give you access. But please, keep your investigation out of the mines. After that incident this morning, Erlvar only wants workers down there. Best to keep everyone safe. At this point, I'm ready to believe it's all a grand joke being played at my expense. I don't know if it's just miners wandering off, or if it's malevolent spirits. But if this doesn't get figured out soon, my whole operation is going under. I started this venture with my husband. Supposing all of this chaos doesn't completely ruin us, our goal is to be the first to capitalize on Blackreach's frontier. A few days ago, I would have told you we were doing just that. Now, I'm not so sure.
This is the place, Claudina. The locals say Captain Agron disappeared from this very spot.
It's locked. We must find a way inside.
Oh good, you're just in time. We've hit a wall in the investigation. How did it go with Elle? Oh, great! That's wonderful! Now we don't have to find another way inside. I keep telling Claudina you're a natural. You've just taken to all of this so splendidly. I'm thrilled you get to participate in the ceremony. I envy you, getting to experience it for the first time. Basically, if Captain Agron disappeared here, there might be some kind of spiritual residue left over from whatever took place. We need to conduct a ritual to try and harness it. Here, you take the spirit summoning whistle. When I spread the salts, you blow it. And if there are any spirits remaining in the area, the tone will force them out of hiding. It's a big responsibility, but I know you're ready for it. It varies by situation, but I've seen it work well over a dozen times. Some spirits find it more annoying than anything, but others are very susceptible to the sound. There are few supernatural beings that can ignore it, however. In here is powerful. Don't you think, Claudina? We're onto something. All right, here go the smelling salts. Get ready with the whistle. hear that? It's coming from upstairs.
Slow down, Phoebe. Be vigilant, not hurried.
Did you see that basket move?
Phoebe, wait. What have I told you about jumping to conclusions? You'll have to forgive Phoebe. She's still young, and for all her scholarly knowledge, she's prone to startling at the slightest provocation. Did you find anything worthwhile? Let me see that. This is from Erlvar, the mine overseer. Could it be mere coincidence that the town guard investigating the mystery of the miners just happens to be the next to go missing? I think not. There is something amiss here. I have some idea. There's one just below, tucked away in the back of the town. Phoebe may be indisposed for the moment, so I'm counting on you to join me. Keep her whistle on you. We may need it.
What was all that screaming?
Oh, no worries here. All part of the process. I assure you.
I'm certain these are the caves mentioned in the letter. Use the spirit whistle here. What was that? It came from inside.
Hagaron, no! Gods, no! Captain Hagaron, he's dead. How can he be dead? This wasn't supposed to happen. None of this was supposed to happen. I don't know. I was supposed to meet Captain Agron, But as I passed the caves, I heard a cry. I ran in to find him bleeding out. He died before I could ask what happened. Agaron was a fine man. He didn't deserve this fate. This is unacceptable. No, I didn't. You two need to leave. Stop investigating this. Gather your assistant, pack your things, and get out of Blackreach. This is getting far too dangerous, and I don't want to see anyone else get hurt. Please. We're wasting time. Just go.
We need to talk. I feel Overseer Erlvar knows more than he told us. The last thing we should do is heed his advice to quit now. That I do not know, but he seems to be increasingly agitated as we continue to investigate. I may deal in spirits more often than I deal with the living, but I know when I'm being led by the nose. He's hiding something. Let's find out what. Captain Agaron's wounds are fresh, which means the culprit can't have gone far. We didn't see anything on our way in, so whatever attacked him must have left through the other side of the cave. We should see if we can pick up its trail. Come, it can't have gone far. Look! Whatever killed Captain Agaron must have triggered one of our traps. There's footprints. Curious. Spirits don't use trapdoors.
Okay, looks like the next part of this quest is going to be going down into the Dusk Mine, where it is considered trespassing. I do not trust the Overseer. Something shady as shit is going on here. Anyways, in the next episode, we are going to solve this mystery. Thank you so much for watching the Johnny Guitar channel, and we will see you next time we play Elder Scrolls Online: Return the Bard.